There's a moment in every Amazon seller's journey where they hit what I call the 30K a month wall. You've validated your first few products, you're making consistent sales, maybe hitting 3 to 5K profit months, but then you plateau. You add more products, optimize your listings, you try new suppliers, but you're stuck in this frustrating loop where you're working hard, but you're not making significantly more money. I know this because I lived in that same exact spot for almost 9 months. I was doing everything the online gurus told me to do, but I was missing this one cheat code that allowed me to break through the 30K a month wall. Once I discovered this, everything changed. I went from a stressed out seller making a few 3 to 5K a month to systematically scaling past $30,000 in profit within 90 days. And today I'm going to share that exact cheat code with you. But here's the thing. This isn't some hack or trick that Amazon's going to patch the next month. This is a fundamental shift in how to approach your Amazon business that most sellers never figure out, which is exactly why they stay stuck. Let me paint you a picture of what the 30K wall actually looks like. You're managing 15 to 20 different ASINs, but only 3 to 4 of them are actually profitable. You're constantly firefighting price stockouts, price wars, and review issues. And your time is scattered across product research, supplier management, and customer service. You feel busy all the time, but your revenue isn't reflecting the effort. Hustle doesn't equal progress. Every month feels like starting over instead of building off of momentum. If this sounds familiar, this is where 90% of Amazon sellers get trapped. But here's what they don't realize. The problem isn't your products, your suppliers, or even your competition. The problem is you're still operating like a $1,000 seller when you need to think like a 30K business owner. Most sellers scale horizontally, more products, instead of scaling vertically with deep systems. You need both. Horizontally to diversify your items, and vertically with your systems so that nothing falls apart. They treat each item like an isolated experiment instead of building an ecosystem. They're reactive instead of proactive. You have to hit things before they come up. Otherwise, you're always going to be fixing things that you don't need to be fixing. They optimize for revenue rather than profit per hour of effort. They think in terms of individual ASINs instead of product portfolios. I remember there was this one time I had 20 products making me $200 each instead of 5 really good ones that are making me $2,000 each, and then replicating those 5 to more and more. This made more sense because it's easier to restock and manage the inventory. Whereas items that don't really make that much sales, sure, they can make you money. You don't want that to make up 80% of your portfolio, maybe at 30-20%. Once I understood this, the cheat code became crystal clear. Instead of managing individual products, you start building product ecosystems that work together. The 80-20 rule. Identify your 20% of products that generate 80% of your profit. There's something that I call the double down strategy. Basically, instead of launching 10 new random products, launch 3 variations of your winners. So for example, if you have a shampoo that's doing very well, focus on that same shampoo, but maybe a different flavor, because you already know that shampoo sells well, so the other flavor also has to replicate that effect. Cross-pollination is when you use data from winning products to identify adjacent items in the same category. Then the next thing is you want to focus on supplier consolidation. Work with fewer suppliers, but build deeper relationships for better terms. As you grow your relationships, they will give you better pricing on your items, and you'll be able to leverage that for your store. And build product lines that complement each other against other seasons. In summer, there's opportunity for outdoor products because, well, everybody's outside. Pools, yard things, all this stuff is seasonal, but if you don't have an alert reminding you which items sold well in that season, you're gonna miss out on the seller who actually does that and is prepared. Another underrated thing is customer journey mapping. Think about what your customer buys before and after your main product. For example, if someone's buying a shampoo from this certain brand, they're more than likely gonna want a conditioner under the same exact brand. That allows you to double down on more items. Now that's a simple example. Another example is a toothbrush that has charcoal. That same person is gonna like a charcoal flavored toothpaste. So there's a bunch of synergies within these products that you need to notice those patterns and really ask yourself, okay, if this customer is buying this certain thing, what else could complement that item? An example is this is I had an $800 a month coffee accessory. Instead of finding new random products, I found 4 other coffee things from the same supplier. Now that coffee ecosystem does $6 grand a month. And I wouldn't have known that if I didn't go deeper on those items and that supplier. But portfolio is just the foundation. The real magic is when you layer in the systematic approach. Once you shift into portfolio thinking, you need the systems to support it. Most sellers don't even get this far. First is the 3-bucket system. Winners, scale these. Testers, you validate quickly. And losers, you cut them fast. Those are the 3 buckets. An easy way to see this is within the Amazon Seller Central itself, and look at how fast your stock is moving. And you can have N8N integrate with that and basically send you alerts to your phone or Slack so that you understand, okay, this item is hot, this item is not moving so well. We need to adjust something in the repricer. The repricer, what it does, it basically AI automates your pricing so that if a competitor is selling it, let's say at $20, but you need to move it fast, you're gonna drop yours to $18 so that now you control the buybacks and you're getting the sales. You wanna make data-driven decisions. That accounts for weekly portfolio reviews, monthly portfolio reviews, quarterly portfolio reviews. All we do when we do that is that we take every single ASIN that we have, all the ASINs that we also want to buy, and we assess, okay, how much future profit is going to make and how many times can we restock it in a month. That gives us the volume that we can do and the money we're going to make from it. The 2 most important things you need to consider when you're scaling these items. The next thing is going to be inventory coordination. Buying cycles that optimize cash flow across your entire portfolio. We use Restock Pro to do this because it basically forecasts how many times you need to restock based off the data you feed Amazon. Next thing you want to look over is your supplier relationships. Negotiate based on total volume, not ASINs. So if your